I knew that I will have my business empire. I was always thinking like, I will grow up and I will become super rich. I'm changing every day. I'm transforming every day. We are energy. We can become anything, anyone. So for 15 years, I was professional athlete. I was champion of Ukraine. I'm okay with making mistakes. That genie that people used to search for somewhere outside, it's always inside. And that situation transformed my life at all. A few months I was thinking like there is no reason to live. Then I found that everything happens for a reason.
You also practice Kundalini,
Yes.
awakening.
I see how people are crying, how people are changing their life after the sessions. You put love inside and you take away all those pain. I always choose the best. I always do the best. I always do my best.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Many Firsts, the podcast where we explore the power of first-time experiences and share transformative and inspirational moments in our lives. I'm your host, Regula Fischer, and I'm super happy and grateful to be here in the studio today, live with Jenny Gordienko. Welcome,
Hello.
Jenny. Hi.
And thank you for having me.
So, Jenny, you are an entrepreneur, an investor, and an expert in the influencer market. You were recognized as Influencer of the Year, and you're also the founder of Genie in a Bottle, which is a media holding.
Yes.
Where you work with influencers and celebrities, right?
Yes.
I'm very intrigued about Genie in a Bottle, but maybe before we go there, how has your day been so far?
Oh, it's been very, busy because every day is quite busy. But I love this kind of, life when you have lots of events, lots of meetings, lots of amazing people around, and you generate ideas and then you implement those ideas in life. And I think that's all life about, to feel, to connect with something divine, to have this idea, to implement those ideas, to share those ideas. And it's going like circling.
So it's like a spiral of energy. It sounds to me like something that's... Is there any specific idea that you may be working on at the moment that you could share even? Maybe a first time you're creating?
Oh, wow. Maybe exactly the genie in a bottle concept. So it's a concept that, is spread through all the projects I'm creating, because I have community genie in a bottle, I have application genie in a bottle, I have media holding genie in a bottle, and it's all surrounded with the concept genie in a bottle. And the main idea of the concept is that, we used to search for special magic lamp, for special magic genie somewhere outside who gonna make our dreams come true, who gonna love us, who gonna save us, who gonna give us the right answer. But all the answers are always inside of us. And that genie that people used to search for somewhere outside, it's always inside. And the whole idea of the concept is that we don't have to search outside for someone who's gonna love us, treat us, give us right answer, implement our ideas into life. We just have to listen to ourselves and connect with ourselves. And our genie is always have been with us, is with us, will be with us. And the main thing is to find the right instruments to connect. And that's it. And all the love, all the right answers, all the dreams, and the way to make them come true, it's all inside of us. And so that's the main idea I believe in, and it's spread throughout all the projects I do.
I love that. It's also, it sounds a bit like magic, but also so human somehow. And I love that it sounds like Genie. Is that something you consciously chose?
To be honest, not consciously, because I just like the idea of Genie. But then when I started to share this all with my team, and they told me, well, Jenny, let's create new Instagram account, which will be called Jenny is Genie. And so we create one more account which is called Jenny is Genie, because it's also matching. But it wasn't like a purpose in the beginning. In the beginning, it was an idea, and then we found out that that's
even more powerful in this way.
Yes.
Yeah, and it leads to new creations, so new account. And so when we say Jenny is Genie, as part of that story, right? It's this thing, this supernatural being that can grant wishes to people.
Yeah.
Is that something you do as part of your work and what you do in life, that you help others to make their dreams come true? Is that how you...
Exactly. But I would say I'm not the person who make others people dreams come true. I help others people to find their own genie inside and to create whenever they want. Because I believe that there is no like gurus outside. All the guru is inside. And the main thing we can do is to connect with them.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you always known that and felt that about you, or have you learned that at some point?
Wow. So beautiful question. I have never been reflected on this. I think it wasn't like from the beginning, from the childhood. I think that just throughout my life, I was also a person who was always searching outside. You know, I was in therapy. I was with lots of psychologists, and I was thinking they know the right answer. They know how to behave correctly. I would ask them, and they will give me the correct answer. Or I had a lot of like business coaches. I was thinking like I'm not good entrepreneur enough. I would ask a business coach and he would give me right answer. And so like in all my life, you know, I had a lot of amazing people around me who are skilled much more than me in different areas. And I was thinking like, I would ask them, but then I realized that the foundation of me, I didn't have inside of me. So I was always seeking answers outside. And then I started to return to myself. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't ask for advisors, people who are more skilled in any areas. It's not about this, but it's about I have my inner voice. I know that it's always right. And at the same time, I always develop myself. And yeah, it's more about this.
Yeah, it's very powerful to somehow always have this compass inside, right? We can take advice from outside, but sometimes we may also, it's a bit like a filter, what we take in from what comes from outside and what we may feel like, if I really listen, maybe not.
And even sometimes it could be that, you know, that person is much more skilled, like you are 1 year in this, let's say, area, and someone is 20 years, and you think like, okay, maybe he's more wise in this. He have gone through more things. But if you feel like it's no, then it's no. If you feel like it's yes, it's yes. And you always, like if you are connected with yourself, you'll always know the right answer.
Yeah, and it's actually also, I think we're also individual, and all our journeys are very individual. So what may have worked for one person may not one-to-one. I mean, they work in the exact same way for me as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you've brought up that business, for example. So you're an entrepreneur. Have you always been an entrepreneur and wanting to be an entrepreneur, or has there been a time when you may have worked for others or been employed?
Oh, you know, like from the very childhood, I knew that I will have my business empire. I don't know why, because like my parents are coaches of athletics. So they're working for governmental schools, sports schools, and their salary was quite low. So we were like I was a usual child who was looking for more money, more opportunities, because like I remember winter times when I didn't have a coat for those. I'm from Ukraine, from Kiev, and it was like -40, -30 sometimes, and I even didn't have right clothing for those times. So I was always thinking like I will grow up and I will become super rich and I will have opportunity to have everything for me, for my family, for people I like, for people I love. And I knew this from the very childhood. And so from the very childhood, I was always trying to sell something. I was looking for some opportunities. I remember even in school, like I have found with my father, like market where I could buy very for cheap prices pens, and I I found out that in my school a lot of people usually forget their pens, and I was thinking, oh, that's a business idea. I will bring and I will sell it. Depends. And so like this, I had a lot of examples.
And it worked? Did you do
yes,
it? Yeah,
yes, it worked.
Wow.
Then I was doing athletics because my parents are coaches of athletics. So for 15 years, I was professional athlete. I was champion of Ukraine. And also I found out that a lot of athletes, they have different sizes clothing that they don't use. And there are a lot of people who would love to buy like champions clothing. So I also started to sell those things.
Wow.
I started my like store, online store. I was 14 or 15. Of course, it was it was very small. But anyway, I was trying to do something. And so like this, I had a lot of examples when I was trying to do something. But real business started in... I think when I was 19, because before I was studying in the University of Bologna, business and economics. And on the first year, I realized that I want to work for Nike. But I wanted just to understand how this big company works, to implement this in my in my business empire. And so when I started to search like how to become part of Nike, there were requirements like you have to have a bachelor degree, master's degree, and 3 years like of scholarships. And I was thinking like, okay, it's like 9 years that I have to spend somewhere, and I'm only on the first year. What should I do? So I started first to send them emails, but no one answered. And like few months, no one answered to me. I was like, okay, I have to find people who work for Nike. I found on Facebook all people who were just were stated that they work for Nike. And I started to write them like motivational letter, like, oh, I want to be part of Nike. You have to take me, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like 19. Again, no one answered me. But one day, marketing director answered to me and said like, okay, you can come as volunteer to one event. And on that event, I was thinking like, I will show up in my best way and they will understand that they have to take me at least as a volunteer or somehow. I just wanted to learn. So it wasn't about salaries or working for, it was about my personal growth. And I was understanding that there is something I can add to the company as well. So after some time, I became first part of Nike for, I was thinking it's only for holidays, but then they made for me job offer. And next few years I was working there. So I was working with the biggest like bloggers, celebrities, influencers. I was creating marketing campaigns, and I was only 20. And my team that I was leading were like 30, 35. So I was much younger than them. And after that, I realized that I gave everything I could. And I learned everything that was interesting for me. And after that, I started my agency. And from that's like 21, everything started. Yeah.
Wow. So you had 2 careers already, like as an athlete and in Nike when you were just 20 something, right? So,
yes.
Yeah. So and now you have your own agency, and you mentioned community application and media. So
yes.
Where are you at with all these? Are they kind of evolving simultaneously? Probably not, right? So could you share a bit of what's behind them, these 3 pillars? And
yeah. So it all started as just influencer marketing agency. So in Nike, I learned how to implement like marketing campaigns to the local market. And I was working with the biggest celebrities, and all other brands started to ask me like, oh, Jenny, could you help us to create the same like companies and marketing campaigns, influencer marketing, connect us. And so I became like a bridge between famous people and brands that wanted to collaborate with them. And first I was just helping to brands.
Yeah.
Then I realized like, okay, we help to promote brands, but we can create our own brands. And it's much more interested. And so we started to create special brands for each of big blogger and celebrities that we work with. So it became like a producer center. And we started to make like $1 million with bloggers, just creating their own products and matching them with experts, with people who are like really good in their spheres. And after that, it became like a media holding. So apart from, let's say, online business, it became part of like cosmetics brand and other kind of brands that we create with bloggers. Yeah.
And the application
an application came up a bit later. It came up when I have gone through my personal, very difficult situations in life. And I was thinking like, I lost all meanings in life, and I didn't know why should I wake up? What should I do today? Why I'm living here for? Everything lost its meaning. And I was thinking like, why should I live? Why should I live this day or tomorrow? And to go through all this, I started to search for answers. And those answers came with lots of different like practices, breathing practices, meditations, tantras. I know any kind of, let's say, spiritual things. I tried it. And I found out the configuration for different states of my mind and of my body that can help me. And from this, I started the course, and I have seen like thousands of people that they were like transforming their life, just implementing those different instruments for different states. And I decided to put this all in application. And so arise the application Genie in a bottle, and community is just like a part of it, because people spread their love, their support to each other. And like this, they help to support their personal state for longer, because it's very usual when you go through some difficult situation in life, then you go to some course or therapy or whenever, and it helps you. But then you come back to your real life. And not to come back to the like last step, you have to have new community, new environment that would help you to implement in life for longer those new ideas, new visions on life. And that's why community is like a part of it.
Yeah, makes sense. And so I thought that maybe your mindset and your spirituality may have started when you were an athlete, but then there was a later phase in life, I understand, where you felt, is depressed a word? I
wouldn't say depressed, because I'm from Ukraine, and when the war started, I was pregnant that time. And I was extremely stressed because I was in Dubai at the time, and it was such a interesting situation because I was living in Kiev. And on 23rd of February, just one day before the war started, I was so stressed, and I told my husband, like, I need to go to Dubai. I'm so tired, just for 3 days, just to relax, just to lie on beach. It's not like any person who knows me know that it's very untypical situation for me. I'm always working, I'm a hard worker. And now I was so tired. I was like, I have to go there. Come with me just for a few days. We relax and we come back. And of course, there were a lot of news and everything about possible war, but I didn't believe. I was thinking like, it can't be possible. Like, I mean, it's 21st century, how these things can happen. So, and he said like, no, let's go in a few days. We have to prepare everything. I said like, no, we have to go 23rd. And so we go to Dubai, and the next day the war starts. And we discovered that we had the last ever plane that was going from Kiev. And so from one side, we were lucky that we haven't been there. From other side, I was super stressed because of my family, my team, everyone was there. Yeah, and I was already 3 months pregnant. And it was very difficult time for me. And after 9 months, when I was going for delivery, that day, my child was born dead. And and that was so unexpected and transformative for me, because I was thinking that I even couldn't imagine this kind of things can happen at all, and everything was going well. I mean, with the pregnancy and everything, and that situation transformed my life at all, and that's why all this concept was born from that, because a few months I was thinking like there is no reason to live, and then I found that genie inside of me, and I realized that everything happens for a reason, and for me it helped to realize that everything inside of me, and that each of us is divine and we are part of one. And when I realized the nature of reality, let's say, I wanted to share this, I wanted to spread this, and I have seen a lot of people, especially from Ukraine, who are super depressed. They lost everything. Someone lost homes, someone lost people around, and I just was sharing this absolutely for free, just because there were instruments that helped me, and I wanted to help others. And then, from this started all those, the concept, then course, then a lot of offline trainings, then application, and so that was the very transformative part of my life.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? And since then you've basically been in Dubai. Where would you like to go from here?
Now I'm between Dubai and New York. So partially, because it's so interesting. I have been in New York a lot of times. But this autumn, 2024, I went there again, for 1 week, for some business meetings. And on third day, I realized I have to stay here. And I rent an apartment for 1 month, then for second month, and for third. So I stayed there 3 months. And I see that I'm very, I'm relying to my inner voice. And sometimes I logically even cannot explain why should I stay here, or why should I have this decision if it's so unlogical. But my inner voice is so strong, and I really believe in it. I can call it intuition, inner genie, whenever it is, but I rely on it. And so I decided that I have to stay. So I stayed 3 months, and a lot of things changed, a lot of opportunities, a lot of new doors were opened for me. So I came back to Dubai, and I love Dubai very much. I love New York very much. So now I'm in between. I don't think I will have, one place where I live. So I'm a bit here, a bit there, because it's very innovative places, very business places, where a lot of amazing people, a lot of opportunities. If you want to create something, it's, I think, the best places to be and to create.
And when you worked for Nike at that time, where were you based?
I was based between Milan and Kiev.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was parallel. I was studying in the University of Bologna, and at the same time I was working for Nike, and I was going back and forth, and it was a bit busy schedule, I would say. But
now you're going back and forth, even across an ocean. But now I can understand what you're saying. And so you studied, basically. Going back a bit in the story now. You studied in Italy. And that was already after your career as a sports
Yes. I finished my sport career when I was 16 because I got trauma, on my foot, and we couldn't do anything with it. And doctors, all the best doctors, tried to do something, but it was over, and the career was over. But I'm very grateful for this because, if it didn't happen, I didn't open all those business projects that I started. So I believe that everything is in right moment with right purpose. It was beautiful part of my life. It was over, and another even more beautiful part of my life started after this.
That's so nice. Yeah, the gratitude that comes through when you're talking about this is very beautiful. Yeah. And now in terms of spiritual work and everything you did, I think you also practice Kundalini awakenings. You also offer such sessions, right?
Yes.
Is that part of the application of the Genie application?
Yes. And it's part of the concept as well, because there are different layers according to which we can connect with ourselves. For example, when person is super depressed, and his mind is working like very fast, if we're gonna talk about awakening, about connecting, his mind gonna work so fast that if physically the mind not gonna stop, all this theory wouldn't work. So first, when the mind is very active, we need to stop it first physically, like with breath work or with meditation. But again, to practice meditation with super active mind, or person have to had practice before, or we have to do like breath work. If we don't do breath work, like the mind will be so active, so the meditation gonna have even no purpose, because anyway, the person gonna think a lot. And Kundalini, for me, it's something that you cannot, like, where your mind is 100% stopped, where you surrender. I even did the tattoo, which is called surrender, because you can go to therapy, you can go to psychologist, you can go to the best metta sessions, call it whenever you want. But anyway, our body still remember all things, all traumas, all things that had influence, that marked us. And Kundalini is the best way, not just to, let's say, have this life force working. It's also about like cleaning your body and your aura from all those marks that we had throughout our life. That already you can, even on my example, there are lots of situations that I think that they don't bother me anymore. In all therapies, again, with all the psychologists, etc., I have passed through this. They are not triggering me, but my body still remember it. And Kundalini is something that, cleaning like absolutely all those things. And they you put love inside and you take away all those pain. And that's what Kundalini is about for me. So it's more than Kundalini, because Kundalini, it's like a life force. But what I do is I call it like Genie activation, because again, it's something where you get from energy exactly what you need in this right moment, and you clean everything that don't serve you anymore. Yeah.
So such relevant work that you do, and I see. So your portfolio, basically, your offerings, your services are so there's so much variety, right? In what you do. I guess that's also what you like about,
exactly. Again, after all those very, let's say, traumatic situation in my life, I realized that you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. If I live today, it's my best day, and today I'm gonna do what I really want to do. And I would not do what I don't want to do just for some reasons, just because of something, because of money, because of of nothing. So if I have this day, I will be happy and I will do what exactly I like. And if I like this will have the greatest impact to the world.
Yeah.
Because if I like it, it comes with my love, it comes with my energy, and so it's gonna be the most impactful for other people. And I'm gonna share and put my love in every, let's say, project or in any actions that I do. That's why, yes, from that time I do everything. And it could be, lots of my friends asked me like, Jenny, why you go to Kundalini? You're an entrepreneur, you're an investor. Where is Kundalini and all this? But I was just feeling like a calling. I don't know why I'm going there. Even for now, like I do private session. It's more for my, let's say, close people. But I'm gonna do like a big event with it. I don't know why I'm doing this, honestly. But I just feel so. And I feel how it's impactful for me. I see how people are crying, how people are changing their life after the sessions. And I just I see that it's really helping, and I'm putting so much love in it. And yeah, just it should work for something.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So I don't know why I'm doing this, for what I'm doing this. I just feel so, and yeah.
It's intuitive leadership, probably. It comes to my mind. And at the same time, I guess there are parts of your business where you go by what are the figures, what are the numbers. So it's as with so many, I guess, with everything in life, there's both, right?
Yes,
it takes
exactly.
both. It's
I think that the balance is very important, because I had parts of my life where I was very, let's say, business oriented. I had part of my life where I was extremely spiritually oriented. But life is all about balance, where you connect with yourself, connect with divine, but you are at the same time connected with the world, with the real world. Anyway, we're human. We're here in this world. We have time. Time doesn't exist, but in this world it exists. And so connecting these things and just creating something great from, let's say, business side, but putting love in it, understanding that it's all about energy. And so I believe in this balance.
And as you're trusting your inner knowing so much, how is that maybe at times, as you're part of, okay, let's say we're part of society, of a community, but then also the innermost, the most intimate people around us, is that always easy to navigate if you have a feeling like, okay, I need to stay in New York? There's maybe other people around you that may have expected you or wanted you to be somewhere else. Does this sometimes happen, or how do you navigate such situations?
Oh, I have such amazing, let's say, circle of people around me that they are very understanding and supportive. And to be honest, I believe that we are alone here. Like, other people are just reflections of us. And there were times that I was, fighting with myself. Inside. And when I was fighting with myself, I had a lot of fightings with people around. And they were reflecting me what is going on inside of me. And I was thinking like, oh, these people don't understand me. I have to prove this. I have to have my, frames. And there were a lot of these fights. But when I healed it inside of me, the same people, even my circle didn't change. But I changed myself inside, and their behavior to me changed as well. And so now the same people are very, let's say, supportive, understanding. They know that I follow my intuition, they respect it, and yeah.
It's so powerful and so beautiful. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah. So if you're sure in yourself, then people around are also sure about what you do, right?
Exactly.
It's very, very good.
I believe that it's like our, we can call it whenever it is soul, higher self, whenever it is, talk with us throughout other people. And if we don't like something, like behavior of other people to us, or some situations, we just have to ask what my soul want to tell me throughout this person or this situation, which lesson I have to learn with love. And I think it's so powerful when you put focus from other people, or like, oh, this is not good person, not good situation. No, like, it's your soul with a big love, with big heart for you, wanted to show you something throughout this. And when you see this from this side, from side of love, you put focus on yourself. You understand that you do this to yourself. You do this to yourself. And when you understand that you do this, it's your responsibility. And when it's your responsibility, you can rule this, you can change this, you can do something with it. When the power is in other person or in other situation, we're like, okay, this happened to myself. I'm so,
powerless.
Powerless. Yes, yes. But when you put focus on yourself, you understand, okay, I do this to myself. This person is like an actor in my movie. And my soul put not Jason, so would be Anna. Not Anna would be another. Like, it's not about names. It's about
the
message. Yes.
And you mentioned acting right now. You're also into acting, I think, right?
Yeah. But it's like my hobby. Only like last few weeks I started it, but I loved it so much because I didn't think about acting as acting. I went there because I realized that we are energy. And when you say, who is Jenny? It's just something. It's just the combination of all experiences and all roles that I have gone through my life.
Yeah.
But for example, if every day I was acting like tomorrow I would act as firefighter, after tomorrow I would act as, I don't know, any other profession, how many experience would I have in that time? And actors are those people who like who become much more wider as personalities throughout living lots of roles. And for me, it was so interesting and so powerful to become wider. I know how to tell this, but yeah.
I know exactly what I mean. For me, acting school has been one of the most
Wow,
life-expanding and transformative experiences. Yeah, because you learn so much about yourself, but also what all you can be. Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what you, in a safe environment, basically.
Yeah. And
so,
I believe that like we are everything and nothing. So any experience that we like implement in us, that we take in us, it can become us. So we can become anything, anyone. If we like whenever, any star, any movie star, if we like any like role model as entrepreneur, interviewer, whenever it is, we can like see the main things or characteristic and implement it in ourselves. And it can become part of our character, not as mask, but as real us.
Yeah, it's very powerful, right? In the end. Yeah. And also for empathy, because we can go into personality types that we may not have been in everyday life.
Exactly.
So it creates more understanding for what we see in others. Again, of course, then we say it's a reflection. So that's a whole philosophical discussion, but or a spiritual one. Yeah, but I see you're creating many firsts. You keep creating. And at the same time, I think the influencer world is often seen as that gets labeled as more superficial, right? More like external, materialistic. And you're bringing so much spirituality to that. Is that something that you see anyway in the industry? And this may be a misconception from people from outside that maybe judge it sometimes. Or is it really, again, a balance that you find like this world is more like that and I have the other world as well?
Yeah, I believe like, everyone sees something that he or she has inside. So there are a lot of people who see influencers as role models, as someone who they want to become because they're someone inspiring as, let's say, nutritionist or with amazing body or with someone who can heal their soul or with someone who is who has amazing fashion style or something. Some people see something different. And again, I believe that if we don't like anything, we have to look inside of us and see what are our doors here. Because other people are just reflections of us and even maybe of our strengths. And usually if we are triggered by other people, it's or something that we really want, but we don't allow ourselves to have this. Yeah. And usually most of haters is someone who really would love to become as those, let's say, influencer or something, but they don't allow themselves to be that one. And the most effective thing that we can do for ourselves is just to look inside and just to think like, wow, but my soul really wants this. And instead of hating other people, maybe I would better buy a course and learn, let's say, fashion style or whenever it is. And I will be happy. And I will spend my time with growing, not with hating. And sharing love, spreading love. And everything is inside of us. So
yeah, and you have also there again, you have all these facets. So you understand the industry, the influencer market, and you are an influencer yourself. Yeah. What is it that you love to influence, or who or how, or what is it? What is the influence you want to have?
I don't have an answer to this question because I'm changing every day. I'm transforming every day. Every day I learn new things, and I'm not dependent on the necessity to influence. So if something that I share have a calling in people's heart, that's amazing. Yeah. If something I would share and it would not resonate with people, it's also okay. It's part of me. So I accept that it's my part of interest and it could be not interesting to people. Yeah. But usually it works absolutely different way. If that's something I'm really interested in, I'm so happy, I'm so full of love. And when I'm full of love, no matter what topic it is, no matter what new hobby I'm gonna have, it usually influencing people because they see love in this. And usually influence, it's about love. But when it's honest and when it's really about love. So when it's about love, you don't have the purpose to influence.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, it's very powerful what you're saying.
Yeah. And when a person is trying to influence, usually it's something that earlier or later he's gonna lose because there is a necessity.
Yeah, and it's not coming from the heart and from the love, as you said.
And if we look into a lot of famous people, there are people who like 10, 20, 30 years, they are super famous. They are like every time new, let's say songs, new movies, new something. And some people, they have like fast rise and then people forget about them because it's all about something inside.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, or it's kind of maybe empty, or I understand. And I find it so nice what you're saying, that you're changing every day and you're growing. And is there something that you're consciously working on right now in terms of growth? Where you feel that's something you're bringing into your life right now, like a first?
Like acting courses for me, something absolutely new. Like it's like just few weeks, and for me it's been so transformative already. So I feel that there are lots of new things I can discover with it. And also all those spiritual methods, always I'm learning something new, and I have a lot of amazing people around me, like from spiritual community, and so there is also always something like I learn, I implement. So that's amazing. And also sometimes, like if in terms of business, so also we have strategy, and I can see that okay, here we have to grow with this or this or this, and we have to find people who are like the best in this, and they learn from their experience. And I believe that the best growth is throughout other people and throughout their experiences, from those people who already like your point B in where you want to become or where you want to go.
And are you managing still your empire? You're the CEO and you're the operational director, or do you have?
No, of course I have team and I have operational directors, like in any like pillar. Yes, because I would then I wouldn't be here.
and I can imagine you as if you as the leader of that organization, of that empire. I see you intuitive, spiritual, business. But what's your? I mean, we sometimes talk about leadership styles, right? In I guess you would also be evolving. Is that correct? That you see yourself transforming as a leader also?
Yes, exactly. I think I was very. I don't know how correctly to call this in English, but I was like a tyrannic leader from the beginning. I was very, like my sport career, my character. It was very, let's say, logical, straight, and very. Powerful, and but then I learned like, okay, it doesn't work this way, and if I want to have an amazing team, it should work in a different way. So I was learning this, and then I would say I became a democratic leader. Then I started to learn how to delegate, how to but now I'm a very different person. I think I transformed so much, like for this last 10 years.
Is there also something related to trust, maybe, in that you have been able to learn, that it's always, I mean, especially if we have our own creation, so it's not always easy to let other people kind of take it over almost, right, and run with it. Is that
Yeah.
also something you've experienced in terms of?
Yes, but I believe that like it's absolutely normal for any entrepreneur, like on the beginning, that you think like no one would do this task as amazing as you can do. But then you learn how to grow in business, and it's normal to trust the people, to delegate, to
Do you hire people, or you hire mainly the managers?
Like now the managers, but of course I was coming through stages when I was hiring like every person in my team. So
And what's the question? One of your favorite questions? Is that how you hire? You go through interview? Sometimes I think we've been doing that. Isn't there a newer way of hiring people? Because that's the way it's been forever, right? But is that also how you hire? Through interview, basically?
Yes.
And some of your favorite questions?
My favorite
to find
question,
out if it's a good match.
I would say something like, what are your biggest mistake in life, or what you think that you can do like better than you have done? And usually it's about the honesty and about what people feel guilt about. And some people say like, there is nothing, like I did my best in any part of my life. Some people say, some people talk about their like personal life. Some people talk about like their business task, and it's always about it's showing the mindset of person. And for me, for example, okay, I would not say what is important for me. And then
Otherwise,
any
people
person
know you will get a lot of applications.
they would know the right answers.
So we leave it open. What matters to you? Of course, you could answer the question yourself. But I don't know. I feel like I see you anyway as someone who learns from everything. So kind of talking about failures, things that you felt, or maybe even felt guilt. I think the way I perceive you have your ways to work through that.
Yeah.
But if you get that question in interview, what
would the answer? I was a person from the very childhood who was feeling guilt for everything. I was thinking I could do this better. I could have done that better. And like for everything, I was trying to be better than I am. And I was feeling guilt. No matter, I would be the winner on championship. I could be the gold medalist for like a school Olympiad. But I would always feel that I could do better. But then I started to work with that. And now, of course, it's very different. I believe that each of us is divine, and in any moment we do really our best with all those resources we have in a moment, emotional resources, physical, whenever it is, we do our best in any moment of the time. So there is no way to feel guilt and to think like I could do better. We already have done better.
Guilt is an interesting concept. I mean, there's one discussion out there that's about it's coming from religion at times also, right? So that there's an aspect of feeling guilty that's coming in through that.
And it's the best way to manipulate people. It's something,
guilt, feeling guilty.
Yes. And it's one of the most low vibrations that could be. So throughout this person in that state that he have no power, is powerless, and he's very well manipulated and etc. So it's very important to grow this self-love. And self-love is something that I'm okay in any moment. I'm full of love at any moment. I have done my best at any moment. And I'm like this, and I can do some failures, I can do some mistakes, and I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm okay with doing something wrong. That's part of me, and it's also beautiful.
And in the end, it's also a label, right? When do we call something a failure? I sometimes feel like, who is it that defines if something
what is failure?
We were trying, right? We explored maybe something, maybe even consciously, like we created the first time and it didn't work out in the way that we maybe hoped, but still we were moving somewhere. As long as we're moving, I think it's
And if we don't try, we never know like what gonna arise from it. So when we try, we see like, okay, this strategy works, it doesn't work. Okay, if I didn't try, I wouldn't understand that this, let's say, door is not working.
Yes.
So
it's interesting the word try. I have been very aware of it. And recently I'm not using it. I mean, I could say now I'm trying not to use it, but then I'm using it, because I'm saying I'm trying not to, because I think try makes me feel less confident, if I say I'm doing this or I'm going to do this, not I'm trying to do it. Then I feel so much more, I feel so different about it just by changing or kind of taking the word out. So it's very, so you mentioned a while ago that trip back then to Dubai was something you were basically always working, but then as an exception, you felt you needed some time out. Has that changed? Or how do you spend your days? Is it still working all the time? Maybe you don't even call it work, but is the times of rest, I guess the balance we all still need. How do you find that?
Now it's much more easier because I have much more free time for myself. And usually I don't do anything that I don't like, honestly. So I have amazing team. And if there is some tasks that I don't like, there is a person who has talent to do this and this is favorite tasks, So usually I have meetings in person with people, or I have a lot of shootings, podcasts, etc. So it's something that brings me energy and what I really like to do. And if I feel tired, I'm absolutely okay to cancel tomorrow some meetings or some events or whenever it is, because my priority is me.
And the love you have for yourself. So nice. And you also host the podcast, right? The Jenny Gordienko podcast. And I think you've had a lot of visionaries and inspirational leaders on the podcast. Yeah, how is that going? What kind of a project is that for you, your podcast?
It's part of my soul. It's something that so interesting for me personally and so inspiring for me personally. And that's why I see how it's inspiring for people, because I invite really very inspiring and spiritual, but at the same time balanced with successful, I would say, people. And we talk about so profound things, not about how to reach success, but how to be balanced, how to be happy, how to which instruments implement in life to live happy. So I have amazing guests, starting from Wishen, who is founder of Mind Valley, or Jade Show, or the lady that have been on Oprah show, or Man and Dave, who is maybe you had an interview with Man and Dave, I think.
No, not yet.
But if you want, I can introduce you to him. Because he's working with Snoop Dogg, with will.i.am, with from Black Eyed Peas, etc. And it's so inspiring to see how people reach those heights, and at the same time they're so open, so kind, so connected with themselves. And so for me it's a big honor to have opportunity to open them up.
Nice. And I think it's sharing of love, as I could feel when you're describing that. Seems like they're also open and sharing their love and light. So
it's true.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything you would like to add as a final message, or some closing thoughts or words? Or
I would like to say that, sometimes all of us feel that we are not good enough, or we could do better, or we don't know the right answer. And it's so important to cultivate those self-love and those feeling that I always choose the best, I always do the best, I always do my best. And in every moment, I'm okay, and I allow myself to be okay and to be absolutely different. And instead of listening to those ideas that come to the active mind, try just to close your eyes and to feel inside that love. It's always inside. It always have been inside. It's your genie, and it's always with you. Always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The genie is with us. Love that. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. If you liked today's episode, it would mean the world to us if you like it. Share it with anyone who could need a boost in Genie. And we would also love to hear your reflections after hearing this episode. And let's keep creating intentional, powerful firsts together. We'll see you next first time. Until then, much love and courage. Ciao.